The kicker for the Saints, Will Lutz, has it teed up, and here we go from New Orleans. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line.
Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. 2nd down, Cousins. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. A very solid gain of 27.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end. A guy that you can line up anywhere. In the slot, out wide, in tight. Doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. First down, here's the run with Cook. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. Now a 2nd down throw for Cousins. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the tuck rule that they can fall back on anymore.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 35. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. So Bree's going to lead the Saints up here 1st and 10 at their own 43.
Ready, 290.
The first carry now. This is Alvin Kamara. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
There we go. Nice play, baby.
Now Breeze throwing on 2nd down. Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. He got 29 yards that time. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 as they've got it to the 28-yard line.
Ready.
From the gun, it's Breeze. Steps away to his left. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on 1st down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
Breeze to throw on 2nd down. Buying time to his left. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. And, oh, not only did he drop it, he dropped it in the end zone.
I know you felt like saying touchdown there, didn't you, partner? That looked like a sure 6 points, but the contact jarred it free.
Got his hands on it, could not hold on through the end of the play. From the gun on third down, Breeze. Higgins got it. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. Try to pound it in, Kamara. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down.
I don't know if there's any other way to put it, but that play was blown up right from the snap. How about the guys on the defensive side of the ball? It's almost like they were in the offensive huddle.
Yeah, it's one thing to stand him up from that 1-yard line. Pushing him back to the 5, though. Wow.
Yeah, I like what you just said there. Not just stand them up, but they end up making a play on the other side of the line of scrimmage.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Benjamin Watson from 6 yards away. And the Saints have taken the early lead. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Lutz now to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. Ooh, the juke. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Well, off topic, but we'd be remiss if we didn't point out what else was happening Super Bowl weekend. The Madden 19 Club Championship, second major this season, 2 more to follow. And our winner, Pauvin, representing the Oakland Raiders. He took down the Vikings, and your favorite, Charles, Ivy Strafen. He had to reach for the ibuprofen after a 38-24 beatdown in the final.
Well, you know, if he was representing the Oakland Raiders, the Vikings went down, and they went down hard. That's how the Raiders do it.
How about Pauvin, though? Wins $100,000 for his efforts. Also won Super Bowl tickets for the next day. Unselfishly gave them to his father and his brother.
How about that? That's pretty cool. Congratulations, Pauvin. Way to go.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Cousins the thrower. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. From the gun, here's Cousins. And he's able to find Diggs. First grab so far for Diggs. It's a first down.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. Eli Apple up from his corner spot to make the play. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Cousins now on second down. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. It'll be a gain of 4. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down. Working out of the gun, Cousins. Dancing to his left. He may try and run for this. And this is caught right along the sideline. What a job of keeping the toes in bounds there. So the big play nullified, a legal forward pass.
And maybe we know why they were able to get such a good chunky yardage on that play. That pass was illegal.
That's fielded at the 8-yard line. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And coming up on their second drive of the game, had the touchdown last time out. Now they have the football back. Chance to really seize early momentum.
Feels to me like they had a really excellent week of practice. It all came together. But I'll bet you it got galvanized in the locker room in pregame. Somehow I think they have...
And he'll be grabbed from behind and slung down like a rag doll. Kentrell Brothers in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down.
Here we go.
Off the play fake to Kamara. It's Breeze. He'll buy some time right. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up third down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Play action. Breeze. Looking deep downfield. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 44. Following the interception, Cousins lets it fly for Thielen. This is caught inside the 15. A big play there, Cousins to Thielen, 42 yards. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him. And he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there.
They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. Throwing, Cousins. Flushed out right. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a third down. In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Cousins now. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Now, that's something of a pick-me-up. The offense certainly has struggled, but they do get the field goal before half to put 3 on the board.
Yeah, you don't want to be shut out, but let's face it, those 3 points, that's not going to solve all their problems either.
Now, after the field goal, Bailey will kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. A tale of 2 extremes already in this game. A touchdown pass on their opening drive followed by an interception last time out.
Now, it sounds like things balance out, right? What's that mythological thing that we do? If you have a candy bar, have a diet soda with it, it balances it out. And we know that's not really true, right? Because the interception, that sting lingers a little bit longer. Got to come out now and put together some nice plays.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. It's a gain of 7, and it'll be second down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
He's got a man open. It's Cameron Meredith. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. First time these two have hooked up this afternoon, and it's a first down.
Here we go.
2 minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to New Orleans after this. Throwing on first down is Breeze. Oh, look at Thomas wide open. And a nice gain of 21 yards. You know, early on this year, we thought that Michael Thomas might threaten Marvin Harrison's record of 143 catches in a season. Didn't quite get there, but he did lead the NFL CD, 125 of them.
And he's smart enough to make sure he's attached at the hip with his quarterback, Drew Brees. And they connected on a staggering 85% of his targets, the highest percentage of any quarterback-receiver combo in NFL history. It definitely justifies his social media handle, "Can't guard Mike."
Now, before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
11.
On 1st and 10, here's Breeze. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. Give him 3 on the play, and it'll bring up a second down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7.
Ready. Yellow lady. Under. Over. Good set.
Working from the gun, it's Breeze. Going, and this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. Oh, very close to a turnover there in the end zone. He was trying to hit Thomas that time, and it'll bring up 3rd down. Breeze going to throw. And that is incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And Lutz's kick is good. And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
For the Minnesota Vikings, earlier you and I were breaking down Kirk Cousins' season and the disappointment there, but they go from 13-3 to 8-7-1, and this was a team that many thought off that 13-3 season were Super Bowl contenders. What happened?
I think they struggled with Kirk Cousins meshing in as their new starting quarterback. The offensive line had its share of troubles up front. Couldn't keep Dalvin Cook healthy as their lead runner. But the defense, even though the numbers were good at the end of the year, they struggled throughout as well. They had some games where they gave up some big plays. Remember the Rams game earlier in the season? The Packers game that was a tie, I think the second game of the year. So all in all, they could just never get that consistency and cohesiveness that they had in 2018. But it's a team that's not very far away. They can bounce right back into the playoffs in this upcoming year. In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
The Vikings on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Cousins. And he's taken down here by the Saints. Alex Okafor coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it'll be 4th down. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. Here's Matt Weil now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. This is taken at the 18. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. The Saints offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
And room to run as he's up past the 35-yard line. So it's halftime here in New Orleans with the Saints out in front. As we are off to Orlando now to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach? Set now to go for the 3rd quarter. The Saints have the lead and set to receive the kick. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the 3rd quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the 3rd quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. On 1st down, Breeze. That's caught by Meredith right side. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Breeze now on 1st down. Finds his man, Watson, over the middle. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Give him 30 yards there. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
Now that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
So statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a running game going. But, boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right. You look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game.
Kill! 36.
Breeze to throw on 3rd and 1. On the check down, he finds Kamara. And he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4. It's a gain of 6 as they're able to convert, and now it's 1st and goal. They come out here in the I.
36.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and goal.
Kill! Kill! 12. 12.
Shotgun now for Breeze. Forced out to his left. Floating one incomplete. He was trying to get it that time to Ted Ginn. And it's 3rd and 5.
They may be snapping the ball near the goal line, but all you're thinking defensively, keep them out of the end zone. Force the incompletion, force them into going for 3, and not giving up 6.
Well, they've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal? And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. Benjamin Watson, a beast in the red zone with his 2nd touchdown of the game. And the Saints add on to their lead. And this one through the uprights and good. Lutz now to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. Now a 2nd down throw for Cousins. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. Call it a 3-yard gain, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Cousins on 3rd and 2. Being chased out left. Now he's going to throw deep back over the... And the defense loses him. It's complete. Touchdown, Vikings. Aldrick Robinson, 63 yards. And the Vikings are able to make this a close game again. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Extra point up and good by Bailey. And that slices the lead down to 17-10. Bailey now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. Now the Saints offense, they get ready to go back to work here. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that, they had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
Well, I guess we just discovered that someone is certainly not going to sit back and just take it in this game, huh?
No, they were trying to get that touchdown back in one shot.
One shot, trying to help out his defense and let the other team know they were coming after him.
The second down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete.
Now, he's been a busy man out of the backfield. They've looked his way quite a bit so far in this game.
Nice job there defensively, though, adjusting, because a couple of his earlier catches, he was wide open. Not that time.
You mentioned the key word, adjustment. A better cover man on him now in space.
Breeze now. That's complete to Meredith. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A gain of 26 on the third down conversion. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Breeze now on 1st down. They'll set up the screen now to Kamara. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. A big loss there of 9 yards on the play. And it'll make this a 2nd and long. Breeze to throw again. Drops this off to Kamara out of the backfield. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A good pickup there, a 22.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Again, they'll throw with Breeze. This throw caught right around the 6. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. They'll run it now out of the gun. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Back at the 5-yard line now, 2nd and goal. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Here's Breeze to throw. Looking for Thomas. He's got him. Touchdown, New Orleans. Michael Thomas, a 5-yard touchdown. And the Saints now add 6 to their lead. And his kick is good. Lutz now to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it a 2nd down. At this stage, this drive's got to be touchdown or bust because you need 2 of them.
And if I'm the offensive play caller, I'm not just looking at my dagger plays downfield. I'm looking at some of my specials, something that can fool them and give you a big play now.
With a sensor. Looking for Diggs, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Demario Davis. And they will finally get to him, but a great return has set him up first and goal at the 5. He had his eyes on the end zone. He got close. At least he set the offense up nicely, but he's probably mad he didn't take that one to pay dirt.
I agree with you, and you know he's going to get teased because he didn't get it all the way into the end zone. But if they don't score now, if they don't get a touchdown, he won't just get teased. They'll be glaring at him. How'd you not score?
He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal.
Brandon, you know how many times we've done games, and at the start of the fourth quarter, we see both teams hold up the 4 fingers, fourth quarter is ours. Well, how about this drive? You saw the 4 fingers for 4-minute offense, and this offensive line has really hunkered down and established themselves.
Now, this is where they say, put the game on our shoulders, we'll lead the way, right?
No doubt about it, and let me tell you, if you're a running back, all you want to do is get behind those big fellas, have a little vision, and find some space.
And a solid way to do that on the first play of the drive there. Now, they've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal? They come out here in the eye. Throwing now is Breeze. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Linval Joseph in there to make the play. It'll be a loss of 14, and it'll bring up a 4th down. And Lutz puts this one through. And that'll push the lead up to 17. So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down. But don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
And now out comes Minnesota. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And now he'll tuck it and run. The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a 2nd interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue. On 1st and 10, Cousins. He's going to let it fly. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by a former 1st-round pick, Patrick Robinson. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. Breeze is looking to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Thomas the intended target, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Really nice play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, but for the guys on the offensive line, they're doing a nice job of trying to protect their passer. But when a guy hops in the air and goes airborne to try and knock one away, it's difficult because you can't reach out and grab him. That'll be a holding penalty. So all you're trying to do is make some type of a play on him, make some type of contact to try and get his arms out of the sky.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. On the counter, here's Kamara. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
It's real easy to say this running game needs to be better, but the reality is they've been given little time to actually find a place to run the football. It's almost like the defense is there on the handoff.
And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.